Hello everyone, this is CJ from Cycletron. Well, today I'd like to talk about marketing focus groups relative to motorcycling. Now, I don't know if these groups exist. They probably do on some level. Personally, I've encountered a marketing focus group for a manufacturer of pickup trucks. Back in 2004, I bought a Nissan Titan. And it was a few months after I bought it, maybe 6 months later, that I get an invitation to attend a marketing focus group. They paid me, I think it was $100 back in 2004, 2005, to spend 4 hours on a Friday evening eating pizza and talking about my pickup truck ownership experience with that truck as well as other trucks. And I learned a lot from that experience that I think could apply quite well to a motorcycle manufacturer, say Harley Davidson in particular, or Indian, or other groups. But for this video, I think I'm going to focus on Harley Davidson and Indian, because I think with Harley's market position sliding year to year, I believe they could really benefit from conducting a focus group like this. I did a video recently suggesting that the competition from Indian motorcycles is actually benefiting Harley Davidson, but it's also hurting them too. If the fact that I speculated that out of Indian's 30,000 a year sales volume on motorcycles, maybe half of that comes at the expense of Harley Davidson. It may be more, but let's just be conservative and say that's half. Well, that's only about 10% of Harley Davidson's current sales volume, but it actually could represent a significant part of their profit. So it occurred to me that Harley Davidson should be conducting focus groups with Indian motorcycle owners, particularly ones who previously owned a Harley and have now gone over to the Indian side of things. So again, going back to my experience, I thought, oh, this is a focus group. Of course, they don't tell you who's sponsoring the event and what it's for and why they're doing it. But through the course of the evening, it became apparent that it was actually Toyota that was going to be the beneficiary of this information, not Nissan like I thought, just trying to crack the brains of why people wanted to buy their truck. And that Nissan Titan was the first year model, and it had all kinds of reliability problems. And at that time of the focus group, I was about 5 months into my ownership, and I had encountered several problems like, the radio working intermittently and other things. And talking to everybody else there was a Nissan Titan owner as well. And they were telling me of more serious issues like warped brake rotors at 3,000 miles, which I later experienced. And so they were focusing on questions like, well, why did you buy the Titan? What would make you switch back to buying a Tacoma or Tundra from Toyota? And in a lot of ways, Toyota, I think, ended up preconditioning the sale for people going back to Toyotas, because all these owners realized that they were having problems. It was a widespread issue, and that if they hadn't experienced certain problems, they likely would in the future. It was just a matter of time. And in my experience, after I had several issues with this, the warp brake rotors, the radio going in and out, I was just done. And actually, before I got to that point, a service manager suggested to me that, hey, if you weren't so picky about your vehicle, you'd be a lot happier. And, I thought about that. I was like, well, that's true, but I don't know that warp brake rotors and other things like that, intermittent radio use, counted as being too picky. But I'm coming back to the Indian Harley example. You hear anecdotally that there's lots of used Harleys being traded in for Indian motorcycles these days, and I have no doubt that's true. But is anybody from Harley trying to capture that information? Do they know why it's happened? Do people have a bad experience at Harley dealership? Do they have bad experiences with getting their warranty covered for a Harley? It can't be price, because Indians are no bargains either. Is it reliability, like I said? Better performance? Well, what is it? Harley should be getting to the bottom of this. And if any of you have been in a focus group like this, and I'm just not aware of it, please let me know in the comments section. But, from a marketing standpoint, this is a fairly expensive marketing activity. It's more expensive than conducting a survey, but you don't have to do a lot of them to get a lot of great information. You hold a few focus groups, and I'm not exactly sure how Toyota got my name. I mean, there must be marketing people out there that can figure out who's registered, like in this example, a Nissan, when they previously registered a Tacoma or Tundra. And I'm sure there's people out there that can figure out if somebody used to have a Harley that now has an Indian. So invite those folks out for, you know, a few bucks and a t-shirt and some pizza, and just gather a lot of information. Where did they first hear about Indian? Where did they first see one? Did they test ride one before they made a purchase decision? What features did they like? Why didn't they, if they were looking at a comparable Harley motorcycle, why didn't they buy it? I think there's a wealth of information that could be had. I mean, I think Indian could do the same thing. Try to understand, and maybe they already do, why customers have purchased their bike versus a competing bike. So, you know, both companies can benefit from conducting a focus group like that, but I think Harley Davidson all the more could benefit from it. And if no one out there has heard of a focus group for motorcycle owners of Indians who used to own Harleys, don't you think it would be a good idea? I mean, there's a lot of people sharing information on social media, on YouTube, about their experiences, which is great, but it's not, that information is not really organized in a systematic fashion. That it'd take a lot of time for Harley to figure out what's really going on. It's, if you conduct questions at a focus group, I mean, the questions are well designed. They're organized in a certain fashion so they're not leading type questions. There's people behind a one-way mirror that's observing the group. They're recording the session. They can go back and re-examine what was said, and they get demographic information on people who are buying the product. There's just a ton of information, and I think it's, you know, a focus group like that is representative of a much larger pool of bike owners. So again, why not do it? It's my suggestion. I think Harley would benefit from it. I think Indian would benefit from it. I mean, who wouldn't want to talk about their motorcycle purchase for a few hours on a Friday evening if they got beer and a few bucks in their pocket? I'd probably do it for free. I'd probably do it for the pizza, honestly. But I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I mean, also too, I think Indian, if they're not doing it already, if they see someone trading in a Harley, there should be some kind of survey form. Tell us why you bought an Indian, Scout, Challenger, FTR, whatever it may be, versus a competing Harley bike. And, you know, fill out the survey. Before you leave the store, we'll give you a t-shirt, or we'll give you $25 credit towards your next service, or whatever it may be, and capture that information. I mean, that's different from a focus group, but again, it's another type of marketing information that these manufacturers could be getting at. So, I don't know. It's, I guess I'm an amateur marketing director here, but it's just things that occurred to me. So, please let me know your thoughts in the comments section, and please stay tuned for future videos. Thanks very much.